What is up, beautiful people? How are we today? What's going on? Say hello in the chat over here. Good to see everyone here today. I know some of you were here yesterday morning. For some reason, my go-to webinar changed the actual date, or I must have said it wrong or something. But last week on Wednesday, US time, it's now Thursday morning here, was the webinar, and they're usually set for every day Wednesday. So for everyone that was here yesterday, I apologize greatly, but I'm going to make it up to you in today's webinar, I promise. How's everyone going? Let me know where you guys are from. I can see some new names in here. It's good to see you. What's up, Raphael, Shane? I see us, Shane again. A couple of Shanes in here, actually. What's up? We've got people from San Diego all the way here to Melbourne. Hope you are doing okay in Melbourne. For those of you that are from overseas and don't know what's happening here in Australia and Melbourne, they're basically in the most extreme lockdown imaginable. Seriously, pretty crazy. But it's good to see you here, Shane, in Melbourne, jumping on and learning and doing some positive stuff in this crazy, crazy time we are all living in. So basically, the past 2 weeks, we've done webinars. We did one on affiliate marketing and looking at the quiz side to it, because on Facebook you can't, and any paid platform, you can't use affiliate links as a paid traffic source. It'll just disapprove your ad. And then last week we had a look at how to create AI doodle videos for sales videos, because I know a lot of people don't like being on the camera, and as much as I'd love you guys all to love being on the camera, I know for some people they just never will. So that webinar was for you guys in that position. But in saying that, I used to hate being on the camera so much. I remember at university, I literally avoided the subject public speaking, and I tried to get in every other elective when public speaking was the only one that was available as a course subject, and actually then ended up having to do it. And I found it pretty confronting. They actually made us dress up in togas and go to a shopping center and actually speak to random people a speech we created, basically to scare the shit out of us, to show us if we can do that, we can basically do anything. And then I remember the first time I ever spoke in Vegas at Mandalay Bay. It was actually a massive event. There was guys like Grant Cardone there talking, Ty Lopez. It was my first time I ever spoke in Vegas in front of like 5,000, 6,000 people, which was pretty full on for me. And I realized the importance of having water there. But again, doing things like webinars. By the way, if you guys have never done any public speaking, I know everyone here has some form of value to share. So really try to see how you can build that into a webinar, because I found when I started doing webinars every week, when I first started doing them years ago, I set the actual precedence for me to make sure I did them every single week. I did them every single week for about a year. And before you know it, I can speak for hours and hours and hours on webinar. And especially when I'm doing launches, I'm doing back-to-back webinars over and over and over of the same thing. And by the end of the day, your voice is screwed. You don't realize when you speak for 2 hours and you're looking at comments as a response, and you have to keep the conversation going. You can't stop talking, because then it gets weird and bored, and people get bored and zone out. And I can actually see how attentive you guys are, or if you're going to go scrolling on different pages and whatnot. So it's a bit of a skill set to learn, but it's a fun one. I love doing webinars and engaging with you guys. So I am excited for today's one as well, which we are going to be talking everything to do with Facebook and Instagram verification, right? So you can see the little blue tick I've got on here, and I've got it on Instagram over here. This was basically a passion project I'd focused on over the past couple of years. Basically, probably about a year and a half, 2 years, I saw some people with this blue tick thing, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder how they get that. I'd always see their comments at the top of people's posts. And I knew that I had a lot of value to give. I knew that I had some pretty cool achievements under my belt. And this is what, and I had no fans at the time. I really was conflicted with building my own Instagram account and just having it as the one social platform that I just have some close friends and family on, because again, social media can really take over people's lives. And I saw with one of my ex-partners, she literally was obsessed with Instagram. I actually made my software Instamate. Many of you might know this, which was the first tool ever in the world to allow you to post and schedule content to Instagram from your computer maybe 6 years ago. And the way that came about was two reasons. One, back then I had to have multiple phones because you could only log into 5 Instagram accounts on one device. Even if you logged out of them, it would lock it at that. So I had to have multiple devices to manage all my clients. And then 2, my ex-girlfriend would wake up at 4 a.m. every single day and then post to Instagram at prime time for her audience, because the Australian time zone and the American time zone is very, very different. You guys in America here now to be nighttime, here it's first thing in the morning. But that tool then went to being one of the biggest Instagram software launches ever. So a lot of people either had the problem I had with my local clients or had partners that were waking up at crazy hours of the morning. So that's when I went and decided eventually on the journey to figure out this verification thing. A lot of my softwares have been around Instagram, and in my mind, I personally don't really care about a blue tick on a page. Exactly the same as that I don't really care about how many fans I have. I'd rather have 400 fans that really cared about what I did, that were customers or people that wanted to learn, than having, I don't know, 500,000 followers that were just there for booty pics. Not that. Oh, actually, no. Some people would want to see my booty, I'm sure. Although I'm more so referring to these stunning girls that they share their butts and they don't have anything to sell or provide value with aside from that. So this is how my journey started with trying to get this blue tick. And I want to talk about, well, firstly, what I'll do is talk about why it is considered an asset to your business. No pun there when I was just talking about asses when I said the word asset. So we'll talk about this first, and then I'll talk about the journey I went on, and then I'll talk about how I actually did it. So what is considered, why it's considered an asset to your business, the blue tick or the verification? 1, it shows you are a leader in your field. It separates yourself from the majority of your competitors. And again, I know not everyone here is going to want to be verified, but I'm going to show you guys how you can offer this as an insane service. So it separates yourself from the majority of your competitors. It will increase your reach dramatically. So just like with Facebook, when Facebook first started, massive reach when you would just do a page post, even on fan pages. Facebook ads is the only way Facebook makes money. And Facebook owns Instagram, so Instagram ads, this is how they make money on their platform. And what they do, it's just a funnel. They will literally, so Facebook and Insta will give you huge opportunity initially, then they will slowly take it back off you, but give you a paid solution to get the initial result. It's almost like a drug addict. They're almost like a drug dealer. And so what I mean by that is that originally, it's same with Instagram. Instagram's still okay, but it is definitely getting worse in terms of organic reach. When they first launched these platforms, they give you massive, massive organic reach. That's why TikTok is so popular right now, because you can get a lot of viewers and a lot of engagement very quickly without having any followers whatsoever, just by using hashtags and whatnot. So basically, they'll give you a giant organic. Facebook gave fan pages huge reach. Do an update on a fan page, almost all your followers would see it. Then they started to limit how many people would see it. And if you wanted everyone to see it, you then have to pay for Facebook ads. Then what they do in Facebook ads, so with Facebook ads, they would initially give them to you very, very cheap. This is why whenever I'm doing any form of paid advertising, if there's a new type of ad out there, I will give it a shot first, because usually that ad is going to be a lot cheaper than a current proven tested ad out there. I remember when video ads first came out, they were so cheap, and they still are quite cheap now, video ads over a click to website ad or something like that. But video ads were just dirt cheap. You get video views for 0.000x cents, right? And now it's proven that they work really well. So the price is a lot more expensive now for them versus when it was when they first released, because they wanted people to use it. And on top of that, there's more competition using Facebook ads every single day. So they can bump the prices up on them, right? Now, if you're verified, it shows Facebook or Insta that your content is well received, and that basically, because you're an expert in your field, that's essentially what it means, is that, sorry, I was just thinking way too far ahead. So your content's very well received, so that they're going to then show your content to more people organically for free. So that was a big draw card. Also, you get a lot more viewership on your profile when you engage. So right now, if I went to Tony Robbins' page, I did this the other day, I went to Tony Robbins' page and I left a comment, because I got the blue tick, you are instantly going to be at the top of, let me just go here and show you. You're going to be at the top of the posts here, number. So you can see here 394 comments. Might be different on the phone, but you can see here right away, verified. You're at the top of the comments. So no matter when I view anyone's post, verified people are going to display, usually, there you go, at the top. And there's not that many people that get verified in the scheme of things. Verified. Now, think about the power of this. When I then go and comment on this post, I'm one of what in this post here, three people. And when anyone else then views this post, they will see my name at the top of the page. And depending on what I comment will depend on what actual result I get in terms of people coming to my page. Now, and I'm not saying here just go and say, hey, come check out my profile, because that's lame as all hell. But I tested things from just commenting, saying good work, or love this, just basic things, or providing some form of value to add on top of the post. I even took it as far, I went on to one of Britney Spears' pages and said, I can't wait till COVID's over and we can catch up again. And obviously, I don't recommend doing that, but that meant I got that many Britney Spears fans come and follow me and message me strangely, so I won't be doing that again. But I was just testing, you know, I'm all about testing. There's no one right way to do things online, right? So you get a lot more viewership, and then when you actually post and engage and start engaging with others in like-minded fields, more people are going to see your name, more people are going to see your profile. You get rewarded by being pinned to the top, so it's a great way to build that there as well. Now, I'll talk to you about the process I went through. Now, let me know in the comments here, what would you think getting this blue tick actually entails, right? Oh, and before I get into this, because I know, again, not everyone here is wanting to be verified, or they might not have the skill set yet that they can be verified, but they might know someone who does. They might want to go out and actually contact people that have a giant following but aren't verified and can offer this type of thing as a service, right? So this webinar is for those who want to get verified, or those who may want to help others get verified and profit, right? Marcy says you need less 10,000 followers on Instagram, correct? No, that is not correct. That you need 10,000 followers if you want to do swipe up links, where you say, hey, swipe up here. I just did one on my Instagram account before. But this is the process. So this is where I went wrong. I thought to be verified, it came down to fan numbers. Put a number 1 in the box if you would think that fan numbers would be a major player in getting verified, right? Fan numbers. I thought I needed a lot of fans, right? 2, engagement. I thought I needed a lot of engagement. 3, I thought I needed to post a lot more than I do. Right? I thought I needed to be consistently growing, because for me, sometimes I won't use Instagram personally for a month or so. Like sometimes I'll have little breaks and I just use Facebook for work and use my emails to contact you guys, webinars like this. CJ, there will be a replay, I'll send it out. But yeah, I thought I needed to be consistently growing. That's not true either, funnily enough, right? So what does it come down to, right? And hopefully you guys are all with me here. What does it come down to? Let me know in the chat box if you guys have any ideas of what you guys think it comes down to. Just looking at some different questions here that are coming through as well. Cool. So it comes down to a couple of things. All right. 1. Marcia says who you follow and if they're verified. I'll play. Which, nope. And then another thing I also thought was the following to follower ratio, right? And I was just looking at all the wrong areas here, right? Now, this is why you can find people that have giant amounts of followers, 300,000, 100,000, 500,000, 3 million, like some of these people don't have the tick. So it has nothing to do with that, right? And I look at this very similar to Google rankings and people that say they do SEO and they rank sites. And yes, there are companies out there that do that, but the whole thing with Google, right, is not to manipulate their algorithm. They don't like being manipulated. That's why 10 years ago on a Google site, if I was, I don't know, in real estate on the Gold Coast, I could spam the word Gold Coast real estate 1,000 times on my site, even if it's in the back-end code, and Google would say, okay, this site says this word so many times, it must be Gold Coast real estate, we're going to rank it for Gold Coast real estate. Now, if you did that, your site would get absolutely slapped off Google completely. So this is the first thing, is you don't want to be trying to trick them with any of this stuff here, because all of this stuff on the page can be manipulated. Fans, engagement, growth, posting, all this stuff can be completely manipulated. So they do not look at any of the above. So what they do look at is online brand presence. Spelled that, completely botched that. What I mean by this is, so first of all, your Google ranking, your Google search results for your name or for your business, right? Depending on if you change your business or a personal account, branded, right? So online presence, Google search results for your name or your business. They're also going to have a look at, they will look at your Insta profile because it needs to be submitted, but they will also look at, your profiles, bio, and they will have basic search of your actual page, basic search of page, but also your website link. You're gonna wanna have your own website for what it is you actually do, right? This is a big one, especially for influencers. If you just have a big page with a big following and it does nothing else outside the internet, you're going to have a hard time getting verified. So you're going to need a website of some sort. And for those big influencers, I can see some of you guys are on here right now, that you're going to want to have a site about you. And I honestly suggest trying to offer something as a business. Whether you get the tick or not, if you have a big following or you know someone who has a big following, fan numbers are nothing if they don't do anything for you, right? So let me just go ahead. I'll skip down this because this is important. Fan numbers mean nothing if there is no purpose to what you are doing, right? All it's going to do, if you have, so what I mean by this is that if you're an influencer, I see a lot of people, even my ex-partner from a few years ago, she would literally just post every single day because she'd get dopamine rushes when she'd get all these likes coming onto the actual update or something. I'm not ripping on her because this happens to a lot of people. You get a dopamine rush, you feel good, and then you get addicted to posting photos, getting new content, editing things out, getting a warped perception of reality, right? That is really all that's going to happen if you just have a page that's growing fans and whatnot. Then you see a downward slide in a lot of cases where they'll go from being a really like just casual, nice, cool page to them posting only butt shots. And again, if they're only posting butt shots but they don't have a way to monetize it, I see a lot of people doing OnlyFans now, which again, there's a need in the market for it. If they want to match a business to it, go for it, in my opinion. I have some friends that are making 50 grand plus a month doing that. But fan numbers mean nothing if you don't have a way to monetize it. And by monetizing, that means providing value to your audience. So have a way to provide value that you can monetize for your online fans, right? Fans, followers, whatever you want to call them. And Instagram's also going to look at this as well. So what's your website? Are you set up, or are you just an influencer that has a lot of followers? Now, one other thing I did try that I didn't mention up here is fake profiles, right? Fake profiles. So if an account gets thousands and thousands of profiles about them, sometimes Instagram will then verify that user because they're sick of dealing with so many fake profiles. Now, this is very hit or miss. Trust me, I tried it with a client, and they had a company that was making fake profiles for them. It's just, again, trying to trick the system, which is not a good idea. The only way is, and this is just in business and in this instance here, the only way to be successful is to do things that work, give consistent results, and give long-term success to whoever you are working for or providing value to. Don't try and trick the system because you're going to get hurt in the long run for that. So, so Google search results is one. Now, the other thing, so Google search results, it's going to be your website, your bio, and then also how you essentially submit your request to be verified, right? How to submit your request to be verified. So let me just go on, mine's on, let me see. Basically in settings on your phone, I'll see if I can just show you this on the profile quickly. I could share my phone screen, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you on the camera here because it's super, super simple. Yeah. So now mine's already Yeah, actually, no, here we go. I've changed over to a different account. Basically, if you're on Instagram, you can go to settings in the top right corner, the three stripes in the top right corner. Actually, I'll just explain it. Three stripes in the top right corner, hit the button settings, and then all you need to do is click on account, and then it will show you this things option here saying request verification. You can probably see that there somewhere, that request verification. This is self-verifying yourself or requesting for you to be verified directly, right? So it'll ask you to upload an ID. They will then go ahead and check this information. But honestly, in 90% of the cases, more 99%, they're not going to go ahead and verify you. And then this might be because of the previous steps here are not fulfilled enough to their liking. And it's going to take a couple of weeks for them to even get back to you if you self-verify. So there's two types. Let me go ahead and put this here. Self-verification, and also I guess you call it PR or media verification, right? So these are the two types. You can try to verify yourself, or you can go through self-verification separately. Now, it's worth trying the self-verification first. Well, I'll go back and show you what I mean by Google and whatnot in a minute, but there's two ways. So do it the way I just showed you then. It's going to take a long time, probably not going to work, or media verification. Now, this is something that can provide you guys value here today, is that big media companies, big management companies, media/management verification, they have an in with Instagram. So say you're a big record label, most likely you're going to have a lot of talent that are probably already verified, or if they're not, you're going to want to get them verified. Say they sign a new artist, or say here in Australia, I was the head of Tennis Australia, and I've got up and coming players that maybe are in the under 18 field in the world, but they might be number one in the under 18s in the entire world. It might be number 100. It doesn't matter. If they're on the management, that management wants to get them verified. One, it shows good management skills by the agency, and two, it's going to help that actual athlete establish a fan base early, because we all know in the world we're in now, social media is a major part for everything from job interviews, from how people perceive you, everything like that. So media companies want to start these kids young and get them verified, get them growing their fan bases, because it becomes an asset to their business. Now, we all just can't go to a management firm and get them to request us, right? However, I have made some pretty insane connections over the past 6 months that are allowing me to my audience to basically submit users through their management system, because they have a direct connection with Instagram verification and management team. Suzanne says, is it okay to submit my driver's license to get verified? You can submit it, but the chances of you getting verified, if you don't have the other parts I'm about to speak to you about done, probably not going to work. So probably watch the rest of this webinar before you start jumping into that right now. So media management verification. So my connections that I have made basically are allowing me to offer this to anyone that I see fit. The downside of that is there is a price to that if you wanted to go through that way. So I'll talk more about that a bit later on, but the self-verification can be your first point. But again, neither of those matter if you don't have your Google search results looking really good, right? So if I have a look at my search results, just as an example here, you can see the first article is an article on Yahoo Finance here. Down the bottom here, there's probably other ones. News.com.au, which is Australia's biggest news site. This actually ran on the homepage of news.com.au, which has 12 million daily visitors. It then got picked up by a lot of other sites like Daily Mail, 9 million daily visitors, Courier Mail, Gold Coast Bulletin, Courier Mail, many others. And you can see here the articles about me. Now, I started off, and I can offer this to you guys as a service as well. These are two very different types of articles as well. And I'm going to share this with you purely because I think it's valuable for you guys to know the ins and outs of this, and also so you don't get tricked online when you're learning from people that have things over their pictures like as seen on CNN, NBC, ABC, so on and so forth, right? Who here seen a picture where someone's done that, but as seen on images, right? On their profile photos, on their LinkedIn and their bios, blah, blah, right? Now, it's true, they are seen on it. Like I can say I'm seen on Yahoo Finance. I can probably type in Luke McGuire, ABC. Let me see, Chronicle, Finance, ABC, Australia, maybe. Pretty sure there's an article somewhere online on abc.com, or maybe I can put in NBC. Say NBC 29, Luke McGuire. Down, but I'm sure I've got the links there somewhere, but this is a good example of how these type of articles just don't really work that well. Basically, there's vendors out there that will offer you links or articles written on specific sites. So say I wanted to, I can probably even find them on Fiverr, which is the site where everything is very cheap, $5. Let's type in NBC article. So look at this, so easy, $152 as seen on Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC service. What this does, and you can see this ridiculous crap here when they're doing this. Basically, I wanted to try this way out first as this little experiment to see how it would work. Basically, that these people here would have a guest writing spot on these websites, which basically means they can just write a little review. Say they're a writer in the gardening field of, I don't know, ABC. There's a gardening topic page there. They can write an article which will then be on a giant link that'll look horribly long like this, and they'll post it. No one's ever going to see that article ever, right? No one will ever see it. But if you don't have a big Google ranking and a good feedback on Google or anything really about you on Google, most likely this stuff's going to rank for you, because the world of ranking, a big part of it is what sites are talking about you. And sites like Yahoo, ABC, blah, 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 they're all much higher ranked sites in Google's eyes in terms of legitimacy than a site like joeblogs.com review, right? So it's a PR rank. It's called a page rank. So if Harvard.com did an article on me, that article would be seen as the most important thing in Google's eyes, and that would rank at the very, very top of Google for me, right? So you can do things like this, but I don't recommend them. And if you do want to be on these sites, I actually have a connection as well that will get you on these sites on a homepage basis or on the top of a topic page, because it will actually then give you, so let's just talk about this here. It will then actually give you organic traffic as well. These sites here, you'll never get a single ounce of traffic from them because no one's ever going to see them, because they're in some buried backlink somewhere. So I don't recommend doing that. And also Instagram's really checking onto that as well. So don't do that, right? Now on the flip side, if I go to say news.com, this article got seen by hundreds of thousands of people because I was on the home page of it. It was trending on the home page. And they also linked to my Instagram as well. This is a thing that is a part of it as well, ensuring that your articles do link to your Instagram in one way, shape, or form. It sends a lot of good traffic to your Instagram account. There's a nice video of me buying my mum a car. So, and then they have a link to my website down here as well. So pretty cool how that's done. And this one article, let me just type in social media mansion, $1 million company, got picked up Bynews.com, by news.nolia, Australian Online News, Michael Bland, Easy Bridges, Freelance Job Rack, Net Television, and many, many, many more. If you type in Lit McGuire, Career Mail, any of these, right? But that was from one article. I paid for one article with my PR team that I'm now going to be offering to you guys if you guys ever did want to use it. And basically, we can get you on any site, even TV shows, Sunrise here in Australia, we can get you on Forbes over in America. We can get you on entrepreneur.com, TechCrunch. Think about a niche site that you're in or your influencers in that you're looking to work with, and then reach out to me and let me know if this is something that you'd want to be a part of. Now, in saying that, once you get the Google information done right, you get a website up. You can see my website's Luke's World. Again, don't go for these ABC rubbish ones here because no one will ever see it. If you want to be on these sites legitimately, let me know. But you can see this is my site. There's a purpose to it. It teaches you, because there's a lot of free training. There's a lot of free content here as well. Some nice giveaway things, a nice little thing about me too, where this year I gave away 700 Christmas hampers to kids that were in need. I gave my mum a car. I'm going to be doing some more cool video giveaways like that in the next month or so, which I'm excited for. But you basically need the three things. You need to have good online presence in Google. You need to have a website that accurately shows what it is you do and what it is you're going to be a part of, and why you should be verified on Instagram. Then it's the actual application process. Now, when you do an application process, I'm not quite sure about the I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same self-verification. I haven't used that in forever. But with the media management verification, I'm pretty sure it's the same as self-verification. It's going to ask you who you are. Don't just write, hi, I'm Luke McGuire from the Gold Coast and I'd like to be verified. That's not going to work. You need to share what it is that you or your client contributes to the world, all right? If they're a big achievement, if they're a big achiever, if they're a big influencer in the fitness space, you could say something like, my friend Zach Smith, I'm going to be helping him out. I'll say Zach is a world-renowned bodybuilder and coach that's spoken at events all around the world, online program that does X amount a year. I probably won't say the actual price of how much he does a year, but basically in a very short, concise way, share what it is they actually do. They'll check that, they'll Google it, they'll make sure that it relates, they'll check the website. Then if all looks good, that you'll then go ahead and get verified. So let's talking about if you wanted to offer this as a service, to local clients or for yourself, right? So if you wanted to do this, it's going to essentially mean there will be some costs involved. If you don't have any like literally like zero Google information, but you know there's someone that does provide value, there's a reason for them to be verified and whatnot. And in saying that, my friend, he got a doctor verified down the road and a dentist verified over in America that had a couple of thousand followers, right? So it can work for everyone. It just needs to be set up in this actual method. Now, if their Google's looking good, everything's looking good, it might just be you need to tweak their bio and then you can try self-verify them. That's going to be a free way you can give it a go. What I want to help people with here is those that have tried before or they want to just offer it as a service where they can actually know they're going to get a good result. Now, I am still working on some of these pricings, so hopefully I can get them down. But the thing is with verification, this is a one-time thing, right? So again, if you're offering this as a service as well, this is a one-time thing that once you deliver this to them once, you can't deliver it to them again. So I know people that have paid $30,000 for verification. By the way, doesn't cost anything like that. But the services to get onto this level, if you want to be on the homepage of news.com, if you want to go through my media friend, who you don't even need to be on his talent agency, but he's doing it essentially as like a pay him once, he'll do it. But he's also decided that until you get verified, you don't have to pay. And that's pretty nice of him putting his trust in my audience here. So that's pretty cool. So let's talk about articles first. If you just if you want basic articles on sites like Forbes, ABC, NBC, Yahoo, etc., that are not dirty backlinks that no one will ever see. Look, this usually ranges between, say, 1.5 thousand to, say, 3,000 for Forbes and the really big ones like that. There'll be feature articles on you or your business or your company and whatnot. Obviously, for this, you need a story, right? And basic story about yourself. We also have writers as well that can handle this part of it as well. On the flip side, if you want the really big articles where you're on the home page that you can be featured on, sites like news.com.au here in Australia. So there's other sites as well, depending on where you are in the world. Think about the biggest news sites you can. I'm sure we can make it happen. I've actually got teamed up with one of the biggest PR guys here in Australia, but he doesn't just work for Australia, he works for the entire world. But like, again, he knows writers all over the world. And the way it works is he will get in contact with you, write the story. We'll first have a discussion. What is the message you want to tell, share, etc., right? If you don't know, he'll help you. He can help with that. From there, he will go and write a story. Oh no, he'll then ask you, sorry, what sites do you want to be on? What site do you want to be on, right? So it depends on what business you're in and whatnot. If you're a gardener, you don't want to be on news.com.au, or you might, who knows, you might want to be, depending on what it is you're doing or selling. So what sites do you want to be on? He will then write the story in the way the chosen site or site wants, likes stories being written in. Now, each site is a different style. They have different types of writers. He's the master of this and knows how every single big site likes to write their stories. He then also has the connections with the writers personally. We were speaking the other day and how with this whole COVID crazy world we're in, a lot of people have been let off. So there's not enough writers and they can only write so many stories a day themselves. So when he goes to them with a story written, they basically just take it, tweak a few things. They might even post it directly as is, and then they'll say yes. So he'll then go pitch it, which is so much more powerful than you trying to go to news.com.au and trying to pitch it to them directly and planning that you have the idea of how it's going to be written and how they like it written and whatnot. He'll also then talk to them about what days it should go out. Different stories go out on different days. Feel-good stories usually go out on a Sunday on most news sites around the world, and so on. So, but he'll write the story for you. He'll get it up there, and he'll pitch it to the right people. Now, if one place says no, he'll say, okay, what are our next options that we want to go to? And then these will become homepage feature stories for the day that they get released. This is a way as well that you will return your investment if you, again, have an offer and a way to then take the traffic you're going to get from this across into a sale. So the pricing on this, again, if you want this type of story, it is quite expensive. It is quite expensive. I'm not going to say it's not. But again, if you don't have the money to do this for yourself and you've tried the free ways previously, you can offer this to other people as a service for much more, because big companies want this blue tick more than anything and will pay tens of thousands of dollars for it. But for this, it usually costs between 7 to 10 grand per featured story. Now, I did it. I got on news.com.au, and every major site in Australia and in the UK picked up my story. I then had my product offerings and used the emails I got, because I funneled them from the story to my Instagram or my website, got them to opt in, and then I 10x my investment within the first week. So that 10K investment turned into 100K in gross sales, so 90 grand profit, just like that, right? And people are scared when they start to invest big money like this. For a lot of people here, it's not big money. I can see some names here, but for people getting started, that's pretty scary. So again, don't just empty your bank accounts for this. But again, if you're going to someone who's very established and offering this as a service, they've got a big business, if they talk that they're making heaps of money as well and showing it, they should have it to do it. If they don't, they're just phonies, and then they don't need to have the blue tick, because again, this is the thing that people that get verified, there's a reason for them to be verified. So that's for that type of service, and you might already have someone that can do these type of articles, but that's for the really big feature ones that really drive a strong message to Instagram and getting verified. Although a lot of people, probably 75%, are fine with just this level of story here. But again, this level of story here is not going to make you a massive return on investment like a feature article on one of these sites will here, and the impact that has for the rest of your life when anyone Googles your name. Now, the verification side of things, right? Verification. So if you want to, again, self-verification is free. Now, if you want to go to media verification, unfortunately, I can't give it to free for everyone like it was for me, but my friend said he will happily put requests in to be verified, and that's going to cost 6K. Now, again, sounds like a lot. You only pay this once you get verified, but the chances of getting verified are a lot higher, ensuring the other areas here are met if you go through this way. That's for Instagram, right? For Facebook, it's at 2.5 grand. So, and then there's a bundle offer that I'm trying to work out with him now if you want to get both done there. So again, say this cost in total 6 grand plus 3 grand, 9 grand, right? You could sell that to any big business easily for 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand. I know it sounds like big numbers, but again, this is something that gives legitimacy, and big brands that are making a lot of money, they'd be pissed off they don't have this. And there's people that I've seen that are selling this for that much. Now, one big no-no, never go to Google, another mistake I made originally, and type in buy verification. Won't work. All scammers. You're gonna get scammed absolutely everywhere you go. Prime badges, buy access to be verified on Instagram. This is the biggest scam ever. Do not use sites like this. Get verified, buy real followers, buy automatic likes. It's all just bullshit that is taking your money and doing nothing. This is not a money back guarantee. That it's going to take your money. See, they're just going to say they're going to do a free resubmission after 30 days. Not going to happen. And it's it. Yeah, see here, there's only 9,000 accounts verified among the millions of users. They're going to help 1,400. That's bullshit too. So maybe this number here is bullshit as well. So, oh my God, they're putting these people up here. See, bullshit. I guarantee if you message these people, it would just not be true. So do not use that. Do not buy followers. Do not buy likes. Don't do any of those big no-nos. So that is a bundle, right? So say it was 9K, sell it for 15K, sell it for 30, sell it for whatever you want. But we can talk. But in short, if you're going to come to me and want my help so I can connect you with these right people and we can do this and I can help you along the way, again, you only pay for the verification part of it once it's actually done, not before. But again, maybe I might even, just so I don't get screwed over with my friend and make this a bad service for everyone, I might take 50% up front and then just refund you if you do not get it approved. But we will look through to ensure your profile looks like it's going to get approved first. or your clients, this is a good way to do it. So again, not everyone can get verified. I know everyone would have hoped for that. But in saying that, but on the flip side, if you do these things, you establish yourself, you follow these instructions here, you get some good Google PR, you have a nice looking Instagram link there that actually it's all synonymous to the message you're showing everywhere, and then you apply. I guess anyone can get verified. It just depends on how bad you want to become verified and how much you want to push your own branding online. And one thing I would say as well, personal branding, whether it's this or anything in general, is so important. It's becoming more and more important every single day. People love to buy from people. People trust people a lot more than they trust companies. So no matter where you are in your journey, start to think about personal branding, how you can brand yourself and whatnot. I might even talk about that next week in next week's webinar, the differences between personal branding and creating a company, right? And how you can also do both. I've done this once in the past about, if you look at people like, I don't know, Gary Vee, his personal branding himself insanely well, but when he dies, his personal brand of himself won't be there. It's like my dad, he's an event manager. When he passes away, his event management business is basically done because everyone chooses him for the business, right? And saying that though, you can make a lot more money quickly building a personal brand because people like to work with people. A company brand, well, it doesn't matter who's in charge, it will last forever as long as it's run well. But again, most businesses aren't run well either. But Gary Vee is someone who's done really well in both. Gary Vee and VaynerMedia, Grant Cardone and Cardone Capital. You can see the actual synonymous there of how that works really well together. So that's the essentials section for this year. Now, if you or you know someone that wants this service and you have a budget to do it, please reach out to me through my email. Please reach out to me through this service through my email with the subject. Just call it article and tick services or something. Actually, don't call it tick services. Call it article and Instagram services, just so I can know that that's an email about this. Please come to me only if you have the budget for this, either any of this right now. Also, please try to do it yourself first as well. There's ways you can self-verify yourself. You might have a good Google ranking right away. One other thing I should mention here as well is some people might have horrible Google search results. Sometimes people do stupid things in their lives and they ended up on a news site for a very wrong reason. I have a friend as well that really excels in content removal. So we can go ahead and look at getting any links removed as well from Google rankings for your search results and whatnot. Christina says, how do you get verified on Facebook? Again, so if it was 6 grand plus 2.5, that'll be 8.5 grand roughly. If you needed the entire package, if you just needed the Facebook verification, it's about $2.5 thousand for that. But for Facebook, I actually have never known if there's a self-verification on Facebook. Let me see if there is. But usually when you get verified on one, it's pretty easy to get verified on the other. Sometimes we do that as well. If the Instagram verification gets denied a lot, we'll get you verified on Facebook. We can go that way as well. So I can just type in self-verification on Facebook. It should come up there. But again, we do. We can also submit you for that as well, or my team of friends can. Again, see, I'm bringing in multiple people here to create something cool in a one-stop shop for you guys there. So probably won't see another webinar from anyone on this topic because it is pretty rare to find any information on how to properly do this. I've wasted a lot of hours doing things wrong so I could teach you guys how to do things right. Remember, don't trick the system. Do it the right way. I've given you some cool tools here and ways that no one else can probably offer you in an entire one-stop shop here. But again, even if you don't want the verification part, if you just want articles and press and some traffic that way, we can help you with that. If you need content removed, we can help you with that. but just shoot me an email saying verification and Instagram services. But again, please only if you have the budget there to do so right now. And even if that means you go out to some local people that you know, or start hitting up people on Instagram that have a lot of followers with no blue tick, and just reaching out to them there. I'll then work through you, so I don't need to contact them. So you can be the man, you can be the person that's done it for them. So yeah, Fletcher, I'll send out a replay a bit later on today when I get a chance to. I've actually got my own, my next software launch coming up. I posted the video right before this webinar from my affiliate partners. So we've got a bunch of people coming in here, liking it now, engaging. So I need to get onto that now. But in saying that, guys, I appreciate you all. I'll send the replay out later on today, and I'll see you guys next week at the same time. All right, guys, have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.